UBC, inspiring Uganda.
A very good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight. Today on the 30th of July 2023, my name is Sharon Chomdusha. In our top stories of the day. Coming up, Uganda and Serbia agreed to strengthen trade and agricultural ties. Kabaka Mutebi marks 30 years on the throne. Still to come, NRM unsure abolishing or improving party primaries. Muyenga residents demand for a clear statement from KCCA about the road construction. Welcome once again to UBC News Night with me, Sharon Chomdusha. In our top stories of the day, President Yoweri Museveni has expressed admiration for the Republic of Serbia's unwavering cooperation, stating the relations between the two countries have stood the test of time. He made these remarks during a joint press briefing with his Serbian counterpart, President Alexander Vučić, at the Presidential Palace in Belgrade. Now, our reporter Samuel Senono is in Serbia and brings the latest development as you're about to witness.
Upon arrival at the Serbian Presidential Palace, President Museveni inspected a guard of honor mounted by officers from the Serbian forces before going in for closed-door bilateral meetings with his host. A photo exhibition in honor of President Museveni, comprising of archives of Yugoslavia, was also on display. Before addressing the joint press conference, Presidents Museveni and Vučić witnessed the signing of memorandums of understanding in the areas of agriculture and trade, signifying a commitment to deepen cooperation between the two nations.
Of the Republic of Uganda in cooperation of agricultural technologies will be signed by the following: the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Water.
Addressing the joint press conference, President Museveni highlighted the long-standing working relations between Uganda and Serbia, which trace back to the 1950s.
We have had very useful discussions, and as I told you, Serbia, through Yugoslavia, is not new to us. In the 1950s, 1960s, we had very good relations with Yugoslavia under Marshal Tito. And I told you how we used to follow the stand of Marshal Tito during that time, especially the neutral position he kept between the quarrel between the Soviet Union and China. That time they were all socialists, they were all communists, but they had disagreements. But Mashal Tito refused to take sides and remained neutral, and we admired him for that. Our elders, like Mwalimu Nyerere, the president of Tanzania at that time, who was our senior person, appreciated him so much. Mashal Tito, together with Nkrumah and with Nasser of Egypt, and with Sukarno of Indonesia, were the champions of the non-aligned movement. I told you how I welcomed Eldred Kardej at the University of Dar es Salaam as one of my guests.
On his part, President Vukik pledged total support and cooperation, assuring President Museveni of implementation of the signed memorandums of understanding, solidifying their commitment to strengthening bilateral ties.
And let me tell you, in 2050, Uganda will have more than 100 million inhabitants. Today, Uganda has more than 40 million. People who cannot follow this quick growth in Africa. Uganda in 2050 will be one of the youngest countries in the whole world. Huge potentials. And we will talk at the Business Forum about it, what is very important for us. Mr. Museveni, President Museveni respects private property a lot. He knows that you cannot have successful economy if the state owes everything. That's very important for our investors.
Samuel Senono and Wycliffe Mudachi for UBC TV News in Serbia.
Thank you, Samuel Senono and Wycliffe Mudachi, for the updates of the president in Serbia. Moving on from that, reports of mismanagement of party primaries were not the only reason for the political loss of national resistance movement in central Uganda. The NRM Director of Communications, Emmanuel Dombo, attributes the loss to the increase in the number of the NRM leaning independents, leading to division of votes. This explanation comes in the midst of votes of calls by the party stalwarts that to have primaries abolished and have the NRM register updated. Okurut has a detailed report on this story.
The ultimate position of the president may have been secured, but the performance of national resistance movement in the last elections was not the best in central Uganda. This was due to several factors within the party, giving the advantage to the opposition in what came to be popularly known as a political wave.
The concentration of mass media, especially the radios and televisions, are more in the central areas of Uganda. And there was a massive propaganda by the opposition telling so many lies, yet the NRM cadres were not as many in the media to try and detox the lies that was told by the opposition. This partially affected us.
One of the victims of the political wave was former Member of Parliament for Bukoto South constituency, Haj Muyanja Mbabali. He holds a different view on what could have caused NRM loss in central Uganda.
The big problem was the primaries of NRM and the intrigue within NRM. That's all. The rest is normal. Primaries became a situation that everybody, even non-members, were voting.
Mbabali wants NRM primaries abolished to avoid a similar political loss.
It has been the center of confusion whereby the NRM registers are not updated, and then you can come to a stage that let everybody vote because there's nothing to do. So to make anything better is to avoid them, that you just go to your votes.
Because in NRM we don't handpick, because we rely on the people's power, which they determine in NRM, which they use to determine who their leaders should be. But relying on the power of the leaders, that would negate the democratic processes that we have so far achieved.
Emmanuel Dombo also highlights other factors for the loss which have since been addressed.
One other problem which affected us was the land grabbing by a number of land grabbers who were relying on the government forces, either the military or the police, to go and disadvantage the masses whom were en masse being pushed out of the lands that they were occupying. The president has since directed the RDCs on what to do, and now these cries have gone down.
The debate comes at a time many party hopefuls are establishing grounds for the next elections. It is not clear if Haji Muyanja Mbabali, who has since retreated to business, will seek re-election.
That's something to think about, because otherwise I'm happily doing very well, and I only want whatever I did so that it continues to benefit the people, because I was there to work for the people, not for my own self, which I really did.
The next general elections in Uganda will be held in early 2026. Henry Okurut, UBC.
The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Chitioluwalida, has expressed his concerns about parents who neglect to guide their children in the path of God, leading them to indulge in harmful behaviors. During his pastoral visit to Gaza High School, the bishop confirmed over 60 students and inaugurated the new administration block as about to be reported by Ivan Jogo.
This was a well-deserved reception the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Chitioluwalida, received by staff and students of Uganda's Pioneer Girls' School, Gayaza High School. The Bishop inspected the school and also officially opened the recently constructed administration block, funded by contributions from the school's alumni.
The Son and the Holy Spirit.
The atmosphere was filled with excitement and dancing as the students led the procession to the venue of the daily celebrations and prayer service. During the service, Bishop Oluwarira personally confirmed more than 60 students, urging them to put their trust in the Lord.
And in confirmation, we come to be filled through the laying on of hands with the power of the Holy Spirit to worship, to witness, and to serve. With your own lips and from your own heart, you must renew the vows of baptism and declare your allegiance to Christ and your rejection of all that is evil. Therefore, I ask these questions. Do you turn to Christ? Repent of your sins?
I repent of my sins. I repent of my sins. I repent of my sins.
Do you renounce Satan, his works, and all powers that manifest through his work?
I renounce them all. I renounce them all. I renounce them all.
The bishop condemned the parents who fail to guide their children in the path of faith, resulting in their susceptibility to worldly temptations and engagement in harmful habits.
They have just started on the way. They need encouragement. They need our support. They need to listen to our testimonies. Dear parents, thank you very much for bringing your children to be confirmed. Praise God for your now support and encouragement. And whatever you do in order to help them to grow in knowledge and service of the Lord.
Luwarira expressed gratitude to all those who contributed financially to the construction of the new administration block, and some of the contributors whose names appeared on the wall of fame shared their experiences.
I joined the Gayaza High School in February 1954. It's such a big pleasure to be part of this project.
Naye tebafaanana bwe wati, tewaliwo bintu birungi, tewaliwo bizimbe byali bikadde, byali bitono, twali batono nnyo, kati ndaba abaana bangi nnyo. Eza memories nungi nnyo ze tusanze wano nti progress ekoleddwa essomero lyaffe likulaakulanye.
The head teacher Kizito Robin Akatongole, representing the school management, also shared her thoughts about the school day and the significance of the new administration block.
Thank you for wishing the teachers well by ensuring that they get a better place or space to do their work. The idea was hatched and rooted by you, and now we see the fruits of your dream.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Thank you so much, Ivan Juko. Nebi Catholic Diocese has commenced preparations to take charge of the highly revered 2024 Uganda Matters Day. Now, the Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, the Right Reverend Raphael Wokorach, inaugurated a central organizing committee tasked with this organization. A preliminary budget of 1.3 billion Ugandan shillings has been allocated for the event. Odama reports.
In a heartfelt ceremony, the bishop blessed the members of the committee, expressing gratitude for the diocese's second time selection to spearhead Namugongo Matters Day since its previous honor in 2007. The decision to establish the central organizing committee followed the official announcement that Nebi would lead the 2024 Matters Day.
I'm happy to have this time to inform you of the Namugongo program that was allotted for our diocese, for my diocese, to animate next year, 2024. We have reached a stage of inaugurating the COC, and it is from here that we are beginning now to take the steps of preparation in a more organized way.
Under the guidance of Bishop Wokorach, capable individuals were appointed to serve on the committee.
I didn't know that this opportunity would come to Nebi again when I am still alive. And so we must thank God, all of us.
Heading the newly formed COC is Catherine Mavenjina, a prominent female member of parliament representing older persons in northern Uganda. She will be supported by a dedicated team comprising more than 12 committee members. In an appeal for assistance, Mavenjina urged the government and other development partners to extend their support in resource mobilization.
So, my Lord Bishop, we have been greatly humbled and honored by the appointment you gave us. We are ready for the task. We are going to work with everybody, and nobody must be left behind, as the Bishop has already said. From family, all the children must participate. Whatever humble contribution God gives, we must all give for His greater glory. And I'm sure with our support, our cooperation, our teamwork, guided by the Holy Spirit, I strongly believe that we shall deliver.
The bishop confirmed the 1.3 billion shillings as the provisional budget set forth by the committee.
We have made the draft of the budget, which I think will be refined as the committees begin understanding better what is required of them. But as for now, the budget presented and kind of agreed upon is 1.3 billion.
The news of Nebi Catholic Diocese's election has filled the hearts of the local Christian community with excitement and joy.
It has taken long that I've been in Namugongo. Because of the crowd, I've always now been fearing, but I do attend direct from the TV. And my plan is from today, I'm going to begin saving for Namugongo, 1,000 shillings every day.
We are looking forward to getting prepared. By May next year, we shall be ready to move to Namugongo.
Joseph Odama, UBC News.
The Catholic Church has held its relations with the Kabaka of Buganda and the kingdom at large, which has enabled development. This was during the Sunday Mass at Luaga Cathedral, where a special prayer was said in celebration of the King's 30-year journey at the helm of Buganda kingdom leadership. Onyango reports.
The Catholic community has this Sunday converged at Luaga Cathedral in Kampala for a liturgical Mass. The Sunday Mass was dedicated to the marrieds in the diocese. Father Anthony Musala was the main celebrant.
Kati abali wana abafumbo mwafuba nnyo okuzuula omuntu oyo gwe muli naye kyatwala ku budde okumusoma okumutegeera n'okumwagala. It was a hidden treasure. Naye oluvannyuma wasobola okuzuula ekyomuwendo nga ye muntu oyo gw'oli naye. Bw'ofuna ekintu ekyomuwendo n'okizuula ate olina okukikuuma. You have to protect your treasure.
However, the same congregation paid homage to the Kabaka of Buganda, who is making 30 years on the throne as a king. The Buganda Minister in charge of Information and Communication, Noah Kimba, was present.
Obuganda bwonna bubuganye essanyu kubanga kabaka waffe Ronald Muwenda Mutebi owookubiri agenda kuweza emyaka 3 ng'atudde ku Namulondo y'abajjajjaabe. Kino kiviira ddala eri Katonda era olwaleero tuzze mu maaso ge okumwebaza, okuwangaaza bbaffe n'okumusaba okumwongera emyaka mingi asobole okutukulembera mu ngeri gy'atukulembeddemu emyaka gino gyonna.
Minister Noah Kimba was representing the Katikkiro of Buganda, Oweekitiibwa Charles Peter Mayiga.
Ddala kituufu nnyinimu Katonda yamuyiwako omukisa kubanga okuva lwe yatuula ku Namulondo abadde kabaka wa byafaayo nnyo ku mulembe guno gwe yawa abavubuka. Magulu Nnyondo abadde era akyali kyakulabirako wano mu Buganda, Uganda ne Ssemazinga wa Afirika. Atukulembedde mu nsonga ez'okwekulaakulanya, ez'ebyobulamu, ez'ebyenjigiriza ne mu mbeera zaffe ez'obuntu.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, residents of Waitike Zone in Muyenga, Kampala District want the Kampala Capital City Authority to come out with a clear picture of the disputed site. Residents say that the road has been in use for more than 50 years and they are surprised that their people are planning to build in it.
That is the disputed land located at plot 1395 in Waituke Zone in Muyenga, Kampala District. At the time we arrived at the scene, we found a grader trying to dig out the road that takes residents into their homes.
We have been staying in this place for more than 54 years. So people came and created a title on our access road. The access road was big, accessing more than 4 plots. Because that place is where all of us were entering, for them they saw that it was just a free place, they created a title on it. We criticized the creation of the title, but they continued and made it. We opened a case. We have been battling with these people who want to come and take over the place. Every time they come to take over the place, we call police, they help us, and they go.
Ayebazibo Immaculate, one of the residents, tried to stop the grader, which she described as an illegal activity since it was done in a wrong place, but found it difficult. Although Ayebazibo tried to ask the movers where they got the authority to do this, they did not respond, and some of them were armed with axes, sticks and knives, which forced her to keep quiet. Later, she was told that they were from the Kampala Capital City Authority, although there was no confirmation.
We called the police. The police said that it's KCCA which was doing their work. KCCA is not supposed to take people's land without what? Without their consent, because you can't come and create a title on a road that has been in existence for more than 51 years.
Ayebazibo says it's years now when they are in disputes over the property, and the matter has already reached the police and courts of law.
The chairman of the place, LC1, came and helped us the first time. Then we showed them our documents. They went back. When they went to police, they told us that the chairman, the DPC Kabalagala, is the one who has told them that they know about it. We had put our container, which we were going to use had some construction materials, but these people came and removed it with the help from police, Kabalagala.
Aibazibwe adds, although the Ministry for Lands and Urban Development with the KCCA had already confirmed that the site was in a wrong place, she and other residents are very surprised to see that the movers were from the KCCA.
My message to KCCA, they should first go to the ground before they create titles. They talk to the neighbors, they know what is happening on the ground. They don't create titles from the offices when they have not seen people at the ground. Because since that title was created in 2016, they have never taken over with our place, but they have their title in their hands. Let them not make people fight when they create titles without going to the ground.
They have tried to contact the local leaders on the matter, but as of today they have all gone in silence.
Our concern is all of us want to access. What they want to create is for me, but there is a road entering those two other plots where they have again created. So all of us access our plots from the same location.
YTK Zone Chairperson Bobala Grace says currently it's in the hands of police.
And I'm aware of that good enough. Even I try to liaise with the police. They told me that they are aware of that. So anything which goes beyond, beyond us with the local councils and is being handled by police, we have nothing to do. And good enough, I'm the one who issued the summon letters to the concerned parties, and I think they were supposed to be recording statements.
Our efforts to reach out to KCC officials failed after they refused to comment on the matter. Ivan Juko, Deborah Namamonde for UBC.
Moving on from that, in more stories, the escalating land disputes in Luweero district have become a major concern for local leaders as they present significant challenges to government programs aimed at fostering social and economic development within communities. Now, the impact of these conflicts on the region's progress has spurred authorities into action.
Areas affected by land wrangles in Luweero district have been left behind in terms of development programs. The chairperson of Chichusa sub-county in Luweero district, Nuru Chijambu, sheds light on the situation.
Programs za government, President Museveni tumwebaza, tiyatesa n'alabanga omuntu wa wansi okuva mu bwavu ayagala buli muntu bamukwase ssente mu ngalo. Era n'asalawo n'agamba nti buli muntu njagala mukwasa akakadde. President Museveni tumwebaza nti alumirirwa nnyo omuntu wa wansi naye abatambuza programu ze.
In Bwamba Champogola, a village in Chichusa sub-county, Luweero district, over 200 families are living in distress due to eviction threats concerning their bibanja.
Genda okunona emmere mu kibanja kyamu bwe ngenda ndowooza bajja kunkwatirayo mbona abaana baagala okulya abazzukulu kyokka ate okunonayo emmere ntyayo nsajja bwe musanga ndowooza ajja kuntemako omutwe.
Nzi kye neewuunya kwe kugamba mbu yagula ettaka nga tekuli bantu naye kye sinaba kumanya abantu abakugwa lwaki tebajja ne batunuulira ebintu ebyo biri mu myaka gyeyo yagula oba bikadde tubonaabona abantu tusula ku nsiko bayiga buyiza abantu bali ku bunkenke.
These families have resided on this land for an extended period, and it also holds their ancestral burial grounds. The threat of eviction, instigated by one Mugalula James, has sparked deep concern about them.
Programs bandikoze bakole bave mu bwavu kireese okutaataaganyizibwa tebalina budde bukola bali mu duka bali mu kwekweka mu nsiko nga naye programu zonna ezijja ki nungi nnyo n'abantu baffe tebakyalina mirembe. Tusaba President Museveni ne Honorable Nabakooba maama tukulaba otambula mu bitundu bingi nsaba ne mu kikyuso gye otuyamba okwatagana naffe abakulembeze.
Area leaders have taken proactive steps by organizing a meeting at Bwamba Champogola, bringing together the affected communities.
Nzalibwako kibanja kyange era kwenkulidde naye mbona nsula bweru era bajja banjigga olw'ekibanja kyange si kyebaka mu nju buli lwempulira piki mpulira mmotoka bweru sebo mbona abakulu abali waggulu eyo mutuyambe naye tufa.
Lukanga Derek Chibirango, the councillor LC5 for the area, and Nuru Chijambu, the LC3 chairperson of Chichusa sub-county, have been instrumental in convening this gathering. They have made an earnest appeal to the Minister for Lands, Judith Nabakooba, urging her to intervene and protect the communities from land grabbers.
Batugambye nti waliwo owa police
akulembedde ebyettaka ku Central Police y'Eruwero batugambye bamuyita Mugarura ne batugamba yakola ku byettaka bebe nyine batugambye nti yabagamba nti ye mukozi ye yali ya sente bobe nyine batugambye nti yabagamba nti ye yakwata sente guno ali ku mulimu yakera n'abakima n'abavunaana n'atwala mu kooti n'asiba naye ate ekyo nkivumirira ne sekuvumirira buli mukulembeze wooli oyina kulwana kukuuma abantu we bali so sikumako bagagga bokka so sikumako bamanyi babyapa bokka ab'ebibanja bebasinga obungi.
Sudat Kaye and Salongo Kasipante.
Government is to adopt a comprehensive approach that goes beyond the law enforcement but puts emphasis on prevention of fighting the vice of trafficking in persons. Officiating at the commemoration of the World's Day Against Trafficking in Persons, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Lieutenant General Msanyofu Joseph, said that more effort is going to be put into the process and creating awareness and sensitization because most people are trafficked ignorantly. Watch.
Stakeholders in the fight against trafficking in persons have marched from Uganda Museum to Kabira Country Club grounds as a way of creating awareness about the vice of human trafficking. A 2022 report on trafficking in persons indicate that 1,200 cases of trafficking were recorded and investigated, up from the 420 cases reported in 2021. This increase in reporting is being attributed to the sensitization efforts and investigations. Victims of trafficking include women, girls, children, youth, migrants, and refugees. Although government has increased efforts in investigating and convictions of traffickers, the lack of witness protection law is still a challenge.
We registered 73 convictions in 2022 compared to 30 convictions in the previous year.
Upon the Parliament of Uganda to retable the Witness Protection Bill, to increase protective services for victims participating in the criminal proceedings and prevent re-traumatization.
The National Coordinator on Trafficking in Persons from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Julius Tunomujinyi, says in most cases, traffickers have an upper hand since victims are not aware they are being trafficked.
Investigating, they don't reveal all the information needed. And this is as a result of having no shelters. If we had shelters, once we get victims, we would take them to these shelters, we comfort them, rehabilitate them.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Lieutenant General Joseph Msanyofu, says there is need for safe, orderly and formal regular pathways for immigration.
They are trying to ensure that we can account for every Ugandan citizen who goes out for labor. So if you go through organized arrangements, it is easier to trace you if you get problems when you go abroad. To encourage Ugandans to go abroad, but to establish an alternative pathway for employment opportunities.
In another development, Ministry of Internal Affairs has launched the National Trafficking in Persons database, which will help in effective reporting through recording victims, suspects and also data on litigation. Sets of computers to support field activities in 15 districts that were reflected in the Trafficking in Persons report were also handed over.
Your signature is needed there. You did not work for
Any manual to the PS and the representative of the guest of honor. 15 districts that are most at risk that have been reflected within the TIP report of 2022.
They have also launched an online directory of services that will be used in doing follow-up on numbers for people seeking support and also know how many survivors and victims they are helping.
We are launching the service directory.
I'm Nafka Farida and Robert Katamba in Kampala.
Thank you so much, Farida. The central government has congratulated the Kabaka of Buganda, His Royal Highness Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II, upon the 30th coronation anniversary happening on Monday, the 31st of July 2023. The State Minister for Kampala Affairs, Kabuye Chofa Togabye, the Kingdom and Uganda at large have witnessed developments ranging from education to health as well as unity among his subjects.
Kabaka of Buganda, His Royal Highness Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II will commemorate his 30th coronation anniversary this Monday. The central government has joined the rest of the country to congratulate Kabaka for this noble journey.
It has been quite a long journey. Just as you know, 30 years ago, most of us where we were and where I am now is really very different, because anything done in 30 years is really very big. And it's a great achievement.
State Minister for Kampala Affairs, Kabuye Chofa Togabye, hails the King for giving health a priority during the journey of 30 years.
Where immediately when he ascended the throne, he began on the campaign of educating his masses, and he established a Kabaka Foundation, a fund, education fund, where up to now he has educated over 10,000 people, both Baganda and non-Baganda. He also started on the campaigns of health, where he led immunization, and that campaign was to kick out the 6 killer diseases, and indeed it became successful since then up to now.
The central government also hails the King for his dedication towards empowerment and government projects.
Notably, what Bukadef has done is coffee, the revival of coffee and the promotion of the coffee crop. This has really contributed to the increasing production of coffee. As I'm speaking now, we export almost 9,060,000 kilograms bags of coffee, and out of this 60% is coming from Buganda region. And this is courtesy of the Kabaka's involvement and partnership with the central government.
Another sector where the King's hand has been felt is that of sports and entertainment.
This has also seen the contribution the Masaza Cups are doing to the national teams. We've seen really so many players, Emokwi, Jajawaru and others, who graduated through the Masaza Cups, the Masaza competitions.
For government also recalls how Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II has been a key pillar in fostering peace and unity of the country.
With both the government and other people. But the open door policy I'm talking about, he has welcomed everyone from all the parts of the country. To an extent, they have even promoted intermarriages. Of recent, you saw someone who came to the Katikiro to pick his daughter from Lango side, I think.
And it is for this reason that the government hails the able leadership of the King through leaders like Katikiro Charles Peter Mayiga.
He has been a pillar by trying to reawaken the minds and the consciousness of Buganda, and also ensuring that each Muganda has got a role to play in the moving forward and in the development of our kingdom.
It is evident, and many can testify, that Buganda at the hands of King Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II has greatly moved from scratch to grace. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Robert Onyango. Moving on from that, Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi is marking 30 years on the throne this Monday. The Kabaka was enthroned to the highest seat of Buganda Kingdom at Nagalabi Budo on the 31st of July 30th, 1993. Security has been beefed up to ensure safety of people that are expected to attend.
Since 1993, Buganda has been celebrating the coronation of Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II every 31st July. Mengo Palace is this year hosting the 30th coronation anniversary. The chairperson of the organizing committee, David Impanga, who doubles as the Minister for Special Duties in the Buganda Kingdom, says all is set for the celebration.
Gates will be open. The main gate will be open at 8 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, 31st of July. 2023. We urge people to keep time, to be early, because there's a special security arrangement that will be in place. All of us that come in will have to be searched, and that means that there will be a process. So the earlier you come, the better.
Mpanga, however, advises members of the general public to adhere to the security directives put in place.
Be mindful. We're told that we're under special security status. Therefore, if security asks you to leave anything behind at the security point, access point, please be cooperative. Leave it. If you can't leave it, kindly step away and let those who want to attend and don't have a problem.
So we request whoever is coming, please, first of all, come a little bit early. Traffic will be deployed along the palace, and if you are requested to use a particular route, please just use that route. And everybody, we have protocol officials have been deployed, and when you get to the palace, of course they will be directing you on where to sing.
The Chibe clan.
The Katikkiro of Buganda, who was represented by his deputy, Robert Wagwansibirwa, at the launch of 5G internet spectrum at Bulango Mengo, advised members of the community to embrace social media for development.
I've been working with the Airtel and K2 to ensure that the young people, and we have worked with UCC and the Kingdom, to ensure that the young people who constitute close to 80% of our population can find profitable use of data, of speed, of technology.
The managing director of Airtel Uganda, Manoj Mulari, says this has been done as one of the gifts to Kabaka as he marks 30 years on the throne.
Right in time for the coronation ceremony of Kabaka tomorrow, and we are getting excellent speeds on the test platform. The configurations have been are being done, and from you will see speeds in excess of 1.5, 1.6 Gbps through this network.
The Executive Director, Uganda Communications Commission, Irene Kagwa Sewankambo, also advised Ugandans to embrace the 5G internet technology.
We want to enjoy these speeds in all facets of our lives. So I encourage Ugandans, embrace it. Yes, you need a 5G enabled device or compatible device. So if you have a 2G Katochi, please don't look for 5G and complain Chiwani or Amfeze.
Story compiled by Andrew Sebira for UBC News.
Health workers are concerned over the increased cases of non-communicable diseases in Jinja district. It is for this reason that Jinja Clinic organized a health camp where many sought free medical checkup and treatment. Katandi reports.
Non-communicable diseases are taking a toll on Uganda's population due to the constrained health services. A recent Ministry of Health report shows that at least 35% of the population die of non-communicable diseases. The Director, City Care Medical Services, Dr. Cosmas Malinga, told UBC in Jinja at a free medical camp organized by Jinja College that routine medical check is for better health.
We've seen a number of patients, and some of the key areas we've put our priorities are non-communicable diseases. We've screened patients for diabetes, we've screened patients for hypertension. Some patients have not been able to know that they have diabetes or hypertension. We've managed them accordingly at the field with the medicines we have, but we've also referred them.
The free medical camp attracted many for screening in diabetes, TB, eye diseases, cervical cancer, HIV/AIDS.
We are helping our community in creating awareness, especially in this era of non-communicable diseases, where we are screening people, taking BMI, and advising them on how to live a healthy lifestyle. The numbers have been overwhelming. So far we have registered over 1,000, and definitely we have faced a challenge of shortage of supplies.
The Jinja College Free Medical Camp is part of the activities to mark Platinum Jubilee celebrations due 5th August next week. Jinja College is a Catholic-founded boys' boarding secondary school that started in 1946.
A number of activities that the school arranged. The old boys and the school can give back to the community by ensuring their health. 5th of August, we want to invite everybody to come and share with us our achievements, come and share with us our joy. We want to thank all the sponsors.
The people who turned up at the health camp appreciated the service. The medical camp creates awareness in an area where health services are not affordable by the common person. Abiana Francisco and Sam Katandi for UBC.
And in talking news, MTN has improved on their data voice bundles. You can now call across all networks for the same price. We've talked to several eyewitnesses on the ground, and this is what one of them had to say. Amos, did you hear about the MTN daily voice bundles? So, to join many more other Ugandans enjoying these MTN daily voice bundles, dial *100 *21# or use the My MTN app to start enjoying. Hey, stay tuned for more offers from MTN.
Uganda's oil and gas projects are providing opportunities for international certification and employment in various disciplines. 12,000 Ugandans have received global oil industry training and international certification in welding, heavy goods vehicle driving, and scaffolding, among others. 6 public and private institutions have received international accreditation and certification from industry bodies such as City and Guilds, ECITB, OPITO, AWS and NEBOSH. 250 government officers from various ministries and agencies have trained in oil and gas related disciplines such as petroleum engineering, geosciences, law and economics. 71,300 Ugandans are currently employed in the sector. The National Oil and Gas Talent Register provides visibility to Ugandans with skills and competencies for possible employment in the oil and gas sector. Registration is free. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Upgrade your lifestyle with the all-new entry-loaded Chillax voice bundles. Now, call all networks in Uganda with Chillax voice bundles. Call all networks, no expiry, no worries. Dial *100 *1# and select call all networks. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Malaria is still the #1 cause of death in Uganda. To help you protect your family from malaria, the government of Uganda is giving mosquito nets to every household. Register and receive your mosquito nets from the community health worker. Distribution of nets in the following districts and cities will take place between the 1st and 15th of August. Kaliro, Sironko, Rakai, Bugweri, Masaka, Dokolo, Karungu, Chotera, Bududa, Luengo, Nakaseke and Mbale districts plus Masaka and Mbale cities. Every district will have received their mosquito nets by November. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. Sleep under a mosquito net every night. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from the Global Fund.
Dear Airtel customer, we know that there are days when unexpected stays in hospital stand in the way of your family's welfare. That is why Hospital Center is here to give you up to 100,000 shillings every night you spend in hospital. Hospital Center also offers up to 4 million in funeral benefit. Dial *185 *7 *6# to purchase Hospital Center on Airtel Money for as little as 1,000, 3,000 or 5,000 shillings a month. Your cover for the first 1 month is free. Hospital Center is underwritten by Prudential and powered by Turaco. Prudential and Turaco are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Airtel Money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start a
process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Introducing the Infinix Note 30 series in partnership with Airtel Uganda, a smartphone where style meets functionality. Take charge of the day with special features like the 108MP triple camera and 68 watts first charge, and the best part is you can use this phone to charge other phones. You also will enjoy free 3GB from Airtel every month for 3 months on each new device purchased. Dial *100#, select data and devices to get your free data. The Infinix Note 30 series Spark, a connection in partnership with Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. We continue with UBC News Tonight, and in our business stories, the Myuga Savings and Credit Cooperatives in the district of Rukungiri and Kabale have achieved remarkable growth due to effective utilization of their seed capital. Now, the success has been attributed to the collaborative efforts of the SACCO leaders who have effectively mobilized and engaged the local communities.
A boda Emyoga SACCO in Nyarushanje sub-county of Rukungiri district says Emyoga has been the catalyst of transforming lives and elevating household incomes for boda cyclists. The initial seed capital of 30 million shillings has grown significantly, and the SACCO now boasts of saving exceeding 285 million shillings and is disbursing loans at low interest rates.
Bagarra abana babo mu mashomero kandi obundi nabo babasa kwebisaho kandi nabo tukutura nabo ahabo kwa turi emirimo yitukoreraho abineho ebitukwatagana nabyo obundi nabo bahagirwamo ningabogoboza.
The chairperson of Rukungiri Boda Association commends the Microfinance Support Center for the support.
I am using that money from that SACCO through Boda for adding on my business, and my family are getting much of that money from the SACCO.
In Kabale district, Liamsungu Cooperative Financial Services, with 8 branches in the Great Chigezi region, has designed various products, including youth saving clubs and voluntary groups. The SACCO boasts saving of 10 billion shillings and a loan portfolio of 18 billion shillings, benefiting over 20,000 members. It has a miners savings group that promotes a saving culture among miners in the region.
We try to mobilize the children in schools, pupils and students, to form what we call the Amuzung SACCO saving clubs in various schools. And it's helping them. And I believe when they grow up, this will be very helpful to them.
In Kabale municipality, the elected leaders, Emyoga SACCO, along with 9 affiliated associations, received 70 million shillings. Both the general manager of Hakashenye Emyoga SACCO in Chishumbi village, Rubambo district, and the general manager of Mubuga Emyoga SACCO in Kabale agree that arbitration is the best option to resolve loan recovery challenges.
The loan recovery, as people have been crying, we have done a great job because we have sent rules and regulations that govern the money that we give out. We have given out.
And what does the arbitrator do? He sits in the middle of the two, and then he reconciles you. Because, you know, when you are recovering a loan, at times you tend to be harsh. And this person at times gets to be biased against you. But when this third person comes in and he arbitrates, then at least he can harmonize you, and then you forge a new way to go.
Similarly, the Emyoga SACCOs in Tungamo district launched an association to unify and oversee all Emyoga SACCOs in the area, ensuring a cohesive and efficient approach.
I urge you, Ugandans and the people of Ntungamo and everywhere, now to emulate such and form such associations so that we bridge the gaps in leadership. And I think if we can do that, the Emyoga program will not fail.
These inspiring success stories were witnessed during the media exchange visits with Eastern Uganda and yoga leaders organized by the Microfinance Support Center. BBC News.
And in talking news, MTN has improved on their data voice bundles. You can now call across all networks for the same price. We've talked to several eyewitnesses on the ground, and this is what one of them had to say. Amos, did you hear about the MTN daily voice bundles? So, to join many more other Ugandans enjoying these MTN daily voice bundles, dial *100 *21# or use the My MTN app to start enjoying. Stay tuned for more offers from MTN.
Thank you so much for still watching GBC News Night. As we're about to come to an end, last but not least, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community International United Kingdom Annual Convention hosted in a beautiful countryside of Alton, Hampshire has ended. The final day, like all the others, is about spiritual and moral guidance, but is colored by the initiation ceremony at which many commit and recommit their faith. John Barnes Sentinel has a detailed report on this international piece.
The annual convention, also known as Jalsa Salana, aims to strengthen the link of man with God and man with fellow man, but importantly to bring the community together in a spirit of brotherhood.
This has been an eye-opener to all of us, emanating from the lectures delivered by eminent scholars pertaining to our moral requirements, and also to promote the spirit of coexistence in the world. In the turbulent world of today, many try to distance others and deprive others from their rights. All our lectures have focused on how to coexist in spite of differences in religion, color, creed, and status. The world belongs to all of us, and still we can live together in peace and harmony.
The closing day was a momentous occasion punctuated by inspirational speeches, including that about children and the challenges they face in school, plus that about the efforts of Mirza Masroor Ahmed in guiding world powers towards peace, and the excellent example of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as the guarantor of world peace. But the most revered moment was the commitment and recommitment of faith during the international initiation ceremony, where tens of thousands of members renewed their pledge to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community at the hands of their spiritual head, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmed. This year's Ahmadiyya Muslim Convention has registered a record of 40,000 plus people from more than 100 countries, including the Pearl of Africa, Uganda.
Uganda has benefited a lot. We have talked with the Supreme Head, and we expect to benefit a lot, and even after the conference we shall meet him. We shall discuss many matters pertaining to several projects which would be beneficial to the people of Uganda. Apart from that, I have also to tell you that the spiritual head has appointed me as the commissioner to conduct elections of the leaders of Jamaat Ahmadiyya in the United Kingdom. I accomplished that task yesterday very successfully, alhamdulillah, that coming from Uganda as a sheikh, I come here, I win the status of being an electoral commissioner of a full country like the United Kingdom.
I came in from Los Angeles, California in the United States, and I've been able to meet so many people, even people coming from my own country, Uganda. So it was very fruitful because we had so many spiritual nuggets from our spiritual head, Hadrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, who is the worldwide leader of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. It has been a blessing to be part of it. It has been something which is nourishing to the hearts, and I've learned a lot, and I expect to take whatever I've learned from here back to my country, inshallah.
The three-day event marks the end of the 57th annual convention, which aimed to enhance the understanding of the peaceful teachings of Islam through various keynote speeches. John Barnes, Sentamo, Hampshire in the United Kingdom.
And lastly, from the sports scene, Sports Minister Peter Ogwang has reminded parents of the importance of discovering and supporting their children's talents, which he believes stimulates the brains of children when they come to class. Minister Ogwang conveyed the message to the Ministry of Education and Sports, Commissioner Samuel Odong, who represented him at Kyambogo College during a student sports competition.
And in view of the guards.
Sports Minister Peter Ogwang, while representing the Minister of Education and Sports Commissioner Samuel Odong at Kyambogo College when students showcased their sports talents in a student sports competition, asked parents to help their children identify and support their talents.
Dear students, participate in co-curricular, participate in sports. And for those of you whom have witnessed, you are doing so well, and those who have done well at national level, please, there are bonus points which the ministry awards you when you are joining higher institutions of learning.
The competition was held best in the houses including lion, rhino, tiger, cheetah, whereby the winner was awarded a cash prize of 1 million shillings and a trophy. Students were encouraged not to sit back in case they spot a talent in them. However, class activities should not be thrown away.
And of course, it is also interesting. Sports has become an area where if you excel in sports, you can make it a source of your livelihood.
Kyambogo College head teacher Mugume Stanley says students' participation in sports help a child to avoid diseases at an early age.
For them, the importance of sports, that it is one way of helping the children to develop their talents. And also, apart from academics, we have seen that sportsmen have become very successful and have earned their living. So sports is also what? A career. The students themselves get physically fit because, you know, when they participate in these activities, their bodies become firm and the lungs and everything.
Officials from the Ministry of Education and Sports also explained the importance of participating in sports.
You will improve your concentration levels in your academics as a sportsman or a sportswoman.
So going to present over the trophy. Hey, you already taken the trophy before it is presented to you.
Well, that brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight today. Please join me again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. Stay tuned for more programming coming your way. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Youth of Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give you a platform to be able to contribute to your country and make sure that Uganda becomes better and better by day. Today on the show, we are getting to you at a campfire that has been organized by young people under the Angus Cancer Foundation. Angus is one of the young people that is a victim of cancer, and he has done all that he can to make sure that he does awareness to his fellow young people